Throughout the past 10 years, the rapid progression of digital applications has forced the magazine industry to expand onto a digital platform in order to adhere to the increasing demand of accessibility by readers. As the print industry began to dwindle and subscription numbers plummeted, publications began to heavily rely on advertising as a source of revenue. The pressure to produce content on a multitude of digital platforms has reached its height in present day, with 97% of digital news outlets offering newsletters, 92% with an official presence on Apple News, nearly all on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and other social media applications. However, Snapchat has most recently been one of the most booming apps, yet fewer than 25% of publications maintain an active presence. In the past, advertising pages have dropped by 17.1% in the fourth quarter of 2008 as compared to the prior year, when even larger declines were expected in the first quarter of 2009. As readership began to increasingly decline within the print magazine industry, publications were forced to seek revenue from ad-based content. In 2015, $32 billion was generated in ad revenue. In 2016, ad revenue raked in $47 billion. Mobile ad revenue currently comprises 65% of all digital ad revenue for publications. Nielsen Online did a study that tracked 476 magazine websites, showing 75 million average monthly unique visitors in the fourth quarter. That was up 11% over the prior year and triple the growth rate of the internet as a whole. Roger Neal, Senior Vice President and General Manager of Business Week, says it's a nasty economy, but there is also tremendous opportunity on the digital side. Business Week generates 20% of all revenues on an online audience 10 times larger than in print. There's an acceleration of the digital trends that we've seen over the past 5 years, Link added. This conference is grounded in the realities of today. Expand your audience and rattle the cash register. In terms of ad revenue, Vogue magazine has undeniably set the ad standard for publications worldwide, maintaining its status as one of the most prominent fashion publications since its birth in 1903. 2016 March issue, 405 pages were dedicated to advertisements. For years, the publication has spearheaded the movement towards an almost entirely ad-based revenue, which has fueled its content and attracted loyal readers. As technology has increasingly become an integral part of the magazine industry, cultural representation has inevitably progressed with it, as Photoshop and other editing applications have transformed the ad industry entirely. The emergence of digital editing tools has allowed graphic designers and artists to explore an entirely new creative realm. However, with an overwhelming amount of ad content being pushed on consumers, proper body and beauty representation among models, actresses, and singers featured on covers has raised concern among readers. Following the passing of the Welfare Reform Act in 1996, public schools were required to provide abstinence-only curriculum. Education systems pushed abstinence, and during this time, the magazine industry took an adverse approach, putting a huge emphasis on young women's sexuality with gossip magazines, advice editorials, and sexually driven ads. 17 magazine acknowledged the need for sexual fulfillment as a young adult, which was a radical stance given the cultural and economic standing at the time. 1/4 of Q&A columns included sexually driven topics, but subsequently pushed the standard as that of heteronormativity and magnified sexual double standards. With an increase in sexually driven content, the issue of body modification of models in ads began to bring about significant controversy as well. Readers were worried that it may have a negative impact on young women who are the main consumers of such magazines. In 2009, 50 politicians in France fought to put disclaimer ads attached to each advertisement and image to identify that enhancements had been made. Politician Valerie Boyer spearheaded the fight to make a mandatory inclusion of this sort of label. Boyer said the goal was to combat the stereotypical image that women are young and slim without damaging creativity. Since the year of 2009, the magazine industry and Condé Nast Corporation in particular, which is responsible for Vogue, Allure, Teen Vogue, and Glamour, and many more magazines, has also begun to merge societal, cultural changes with its ad content, as consumers have increasingly demanded more inclusive and reality-based content. Mobile technology media expert Peter Krasinski, chairman of the Krasinski Media Consultancy, claims because of this, the industry is currently thriving. Companies have moved from magazine publishers to magazine media, all without a silver bullet, he said. There are new models, new platforms, new content models, new marketing skills, new ad formats, and new content formats, most of which did not exist 5 years ago.